Anthony Hartwig here with a champion girls soccer player profile. We're joined by me and Nadaud. Down there at the bottom, me and CJ Bako on this interview with you guys. And Mia, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, all right, I'm gonna start off. So by first saying you guys are having a great season. Obviously, I mean 21-0, I believe. I've covered a lot of you guys' soccer matches. I'll just start out with a basic question: how do you guys find yourself still undefeated at this point?
I think it's definitely it's really not, I wouldn't say surprising, but it's such a good feeling to have. And like I think the main reason that we've been able to make it this far is our coaches and our team and everyone just staying together and through everything.
When you look at the goals completed for this season, I know the conference was number one. You guys wanted to win that conference. You did that. You beat the big dogs in that conference over the years with Springfield and Waterloo. And then you wanted to win a district because you hadn't done that before as a team. So, what was it like to see both those goals be accomplished this year?
It was crazy. It was such a special feeling to be able to be there with my sister and with all of my closest friends and complete something that we've all been wanting to complete since like rec season.
All right, and you mentioned your sister there. Has it been a special season that you guys finally get to play with each other?
Yeah, so it's been very, very nice. And especially like my freshman year when my sister was a senior, it was such a memorable experience and stuff. And now that I'm playing with my younger sister as a senior, it's just like everything happening again, and it's such awesome.
You guys knew for a while that it was going to line up this way, where you were going to be a senior, she was going to be a freshman. What was it like getting ready for this year and just trying to anticipate what it was going to be like having her as a teammate? And how did it line up as for expectations? Like, how did the reality of having Maylee with you all season compare to what you thought it'd be maybe in the summer and the preseason?
So it was a big reality check for me, like, because my sister, she's such a good player, and I knew that I had to step up and be that older sister for her and that role model. So it really changed my point of view.
All right, and I would like to bring up. So I had the chance to broadcast the game versus Norway yesterday. First off, great game. Um, I wanted to say that obviously, I mean, you bring out you had to go up against Shelby Vaughn, who was committed to Michigan State for that pretty much the entire game, and you held her with one goal, and they got it like very late in the game. Why was your defense so dominant in that game yesterday?
I think that our model the entire season has been just stay tight and just work through everything. We get scored on just to keep playing as a team and keep our heads up and just give our best no matter what.
There's a there's obviously something special about this champion team. The way they've been playing 21 no, we said at the top. There's something in the juju, in the juice. What do you think it is about this team, about this roster, about this collection of girls that has been so special and so able to have so much success?
I would say that it's probably just how well we work together as a team and how we can bond through everything.
All right, and you mentioned the fact that even if you guys get scored on, you guys got to keep playing. So first half, obviously, I believe it was in the 38th minute. You have that one-on-one that Taylor hits, unfortunately, right at the keeper, and then it feels like Norway was getting a little bit of momentum, and then you guys finally get a goal. I believe your sister assisted on the pass to Taylor. Um, how do you guys just find your way to bounce back, and even after kind of just like a moment like, oh, we should have had this? How do you guys just keep your focus and keep playing?
I think the coaches help us a lot to just keep our heads up at all times, even if we are winning, just to stay in the game and keep our intensity high and just play how we always do.
Gave us a perfect segue into my next question, which is about your coaching staff and what they've meant to you and what they have taught you and what it's like being under them and what you've learned from your coaches at Champion.
I learned so much every day, and they're the best people to be around. They always make me happy, and they keep the team up and they keep them going, and they're just so like wise. They know like everything.
All right. And we talked a little bit about your coaching, but I mean, obviously the players, I mean, they have to obviously play, to be honest. But um, how, like, I know that you guys have a lot of seniors on your team. Is it like big, and do you think that's part of a reason why you guys have made it this far because of the senior leadership on your team?
I don't think so. I think that obviously that it's a bonus that we all get to play together this like last time. And but the underclassmen, they really help us out a lot. And they're always there for us too.
When you look at the leadership of this team and the way you're able to help the younger players, there are a good number of younger players on the team as well. Help them come up and grow. What has made you so proud about seeing the younger players on this team come up and play at the level that they're playing as a senior yourself?
I've been really able to watch them break out of their shells and become great players, and I can't wait to watch them next year and the years after that because I plan on coming back to watch them because I hope that they will be so successful moving forward.
So obviously, I mean, I feel like I ask all the siblings this when I do an interview with one of them. So obviously, you and Maylee are sisters, and Maylee's had a great season as a freshman. Do you think like you've kind of contributed to that a little bit by going up against her, or how was it like growing up playing with Maylee?
Very, very competitive. I feel like it's always like I feel like sometimes we're at each other's necks, and a second later we're like best friends. Like no one could separate us, but it's good.
I mean, I love it because you guys are so different players. Like you're the back line of that defense, and she's one of the girls that's always getting into the scoring and running the offensive champion. So I'm sure you've had chances to try to defend her, whether it be in inter squad scrimmages or playing in the backyard. What's it like when you two go up against each other a little bit?
Actually, it's quite bad. Actually, I think we get pretty physical with each other, like especially at practices. Like we get yelled at all the time because we're like tackling each other during the practices and during the drills. It's so funny though.
That's definitely good to have. So we're gonna take a look forward. Obviously, I mean, you guys play Akron Manchester, who's also an undefeated team. 21 games, 17 of those games have been shutouts. What? How are you guys going into that game? How are you guys planning for that?
I don't think that we really need to change anything about how we're playing. I think we just need to just keep stepping up and having this confidence and just playing our game how we've been playing forever.
We said at the top, this is a new stage for this roster. Champions been to regionals before, but this roster, this team, this group of people hadn't been there. So now that you have the dip into that stage and have a dip into what it takes to win in regionals, how much do you think that'll help you go into the regional finals, deal with the nerves and the things that come along with playing in that big atmosphere?
Honestly, I think that us setting like new records and making history at our school, that it's really just fueling the fire for the next games. Like it's crazy and it's just such an awesome feeling and it really helps like us realize that like we can do this. We need to just not have any doubts. But
Okay, and let's talk a little bit about the atmosphere. So obviously, I have to look forward and back, but let's kind of live in the moment a little bit. So, can you describe what were you guys feeling, and how was it like after winning regional semis yesterday?
we were all so happy. I remember all of us we ran together and we piled on the center of the field. It was such like an experience that I don't think I'll ever forget in my entire life in just being with all of them.
What was the bigger celebration, the district championship celebration, or winning a regional semifinal celebration?
I think the district champs was more hype, but the regional it was pretty good. I feel like a lot of people had like a lot of feelings about it, but it was okay.
Just okay. But anyway, so I wanted to bring up. So obviously, you know, you're a great player. Your sister's a great player. Who's been like probably the biggest like mentor, and who's like helped you guys like throughout your life?
I would say probably my parents and my coaches and probably some of the alumni that have come back to help us and like cheer us on. But yeah.
Into that same lane, who's like your role model? If you had to pick one person that you know any day or night or whatever it means, like if you're having a bad day, you can go to this person and you can ask for advice, you can bank on them to be there for you. Who's that person for you in your life?
Honestly, she's younger than me, but I would go to her for anything, and that's probably going to be my sister. She's had my back through everything.
She's not sitting next to you making you say that, is she?
No.
Okay. So I wanted to ask, because obviously I didn't know, what are your plans for obviously like after the season's over?
After the season's over, I don't know if I'm going to be playing for like any Winter League teams or anything yet, but probably just working and stuff.
What about plans after graduation for your broader future, things that you want to do after high school?
I mean, I have like general ideas of what I want to do, but as of right now, it's kind of undecided. I haven't really made up my mind yet.
Okay. And a big part of obviously a team, has to be a chemistry. I've asked this, I think, to everyone I've done an interview with. How do you guys do you guys do anything to like help build chemistry like outside of soccer, or like how do you guys like have that bond?
I think that we all really bond together. We go get food all the time. Like after games, we're like, oh, we're gonna go to Taco Bell or we're gonna go to like Chipotle or something. Everyone's like, can I ride with you? Can I do this? And we're like, yeah, you can come with us. I feel like food is like a big connection between everybody on the team.
Gotta love the food. Gotta love the food. We realize you have a sister on the team, but who is a teammate outside of Maylee that you think you know her so well and you're such good friends with her that you could consider her a sister any day of the week?
I would probably say Savannah Lefkowitz. She's my number two spot for someone who's always had my back.
Okay. And I want to talk a little bit about kind of like a question we asked earlier. So when you guys do go got like offense, defense, like inter squad scrimmaging, who usually gets the best? Like offense usually win more, defense usually win more.
So I would say that sometimes like defense and offense, I feel like they have their off days, but I feel like we're pretty good against each other. And I would say if I had to pick, I would probably pick offense.
One of the things I ask champion athletes whenever we're interviewing them, this champion athletic room is so successful. You have so many state championships in the school system at champion, whether it be softball, girls basketball, always good doing in the regionals, boys basketball usually puts together a good team, football, whatever it may be. It's so successful. What's it like being a part of this athletic community in champion and now bringing soccer up to that level?
It's a great experience, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's really gonna leave a big hole in my heart when it's over.
What's your favorite champion sport to go and watch and be a part of the student section for?
I would probably say basketball because it's really funny and it gets pretty loud.
Okay. Hold on, let me think here. So I just want to. So obviously, the first game you guys played in playoffs, you guys played Lakeview, and pretty much you had your way with them. What was the difference between? Obviously, Poland was a very close game. What was the difference between Lakeview and Poland? Like, was there difference between the teams?
I think equally they're both extremely good teams. I think that maybe Poland, I feel like their size really, really helps them. And they have very, very good touches, I would say.
All right, so you didn't have to travel too much for the regional semifinal. Now you got a little bit of a bus trip to Talmud. So my next question for you, when you have long bus trips and you're in the long, what's your favorite like bus activity? Do you guys collaborate in the bus? Do you all kind of sit in your seat and do your own thing? What's a long bus ride look like with champion soccer?
I would say probably all of us like standing up on our seats, dancing to music because it gets really, really crazy on our bus rides.
Not the safest thing to do during a bus ride, but we'll all accept it.
All right. So I wanted to ask. So you're a senior this year, clearly. What has been your like favorite game, or like Is there any that like stuck out to you in your entire career?
I would probably say my favorite game was the most recent game against the last team we played.
Norway.
Norway,
No.
it's already gone.
There you go. Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah.
That's a dumb moment. Like regional semifinals. Boop. One last thing I have to ask before we let you go. We have talked about your future, things you want to do in the future. But what about this champion program makes you confident that when you graduate, they're still going to be very, very good and they're going to have a competitive program and you're leaving the program in really good hands?
I feel like from like the fans to like everyone that lives there is so supportive of every team that plays. It's crazy how much like backup everybody has.
Was that?
CJ, you got one more or are you done?
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you said we're gonna let you go after this, so that's why.
Yeah, I mean, it was,
No,
we
well,
use that term very loosely here on these interviews.
No, okay, yeah, I was kind of confused. I was just staring at you. My bad. But so no, I wanted to ask. So obviously, your most recent game in Norway. Why did you say that that's your most favorite game to play?
I would say probably because the intensity was crazy. I had like adrenaline rushing the entire game. It was crazy. Like there was one point where I slid, I think, and then my leg was just bleeding, and I was just like, oh, that's gonna be a cool scar.
Okay, we will definitely let you go after this, but I do want to give the athlete the chance, like we do in every interview, to thank their support system, the people that are in their life that have their back. I want to give you the time to give shout outs to anyone that you think really deserves them in your life and the people that you think need the limelight shined on them a little bit at the end of this interview.
I would probably say again, thank you to my coaches and my teammates, and my parents are probably the biggest people that are really in my heart every time.
All right, Mia, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We wish you the best of luck in the regional finals on Saturday. It will be broadcasted by that guy over there because it has been sponsored by your community. So CJ will be there and it'll be broadcasted on YSN. We can't wait. We wish you the best of luck and we will talk to you again real soon.